Some people don't want to get specific because then they know for sure if they did or did not hit the goal. Now, phase 3, this is game time, man. Phase 3 is to actually play the game. This is where you're actually executing on a day-to-day basis. And once again, game changer for you as you go through the process. You've already prepped to make sure that phase 3 is easier, right? You've brainstormed all these things, you've grouped them in, you've told a story, you've got specific as to why you're doing what you're doing. Then phase 2, you've set you've broken your yearly goals into 12-week goals, down to major progress points, and then down to actions, tasks, and habits. And now phase 3, well, now you're in your day-to-day, you're actually executing. Now, a couple phases, a couple steps that you need to take within phase 3. Step number 1 is you want to read and visualize. You need to read your goals out loud, write them down, and visualize at least 2 times a day, sometimes 3. At least 2 times a day, sometimes 3. Once again, the RAS, reticular activating system, is going to feed your mind things that it deems relevant, things that it deems important. And what does it deem important? One of those things are things that we feed it regularly. So man, when I read my goals out loud, I see them, hear them, feel them multiple times a day. My friend, that's powerful. That is a powerful thing. And it is a proven fact that that is what feeds your RAS, that then feeds your RAS will then go to work showing you things, people, resources, tools, systems, things that will help you actually achieve the goal that you set. That's why it's so important. So read them out loud. Now, a common question that I'll get though is, how do you read them out loud? Some people will tell you to read it and say it out loud like you already have it. So let's say your goal is to make $1 million. Some people will tell you to say, I make $1 million, or I have $1 million. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me because my bullshit meter goes through the roof. It's like, well, no, you don't. No, you don't. And so I need to phrase it differently. I speak it like I expect it to happen. So if my goal is to make $1 million or to have $1 million, I will say something along the lines of, I will have $1 million somehow. Somehow. That little somehow is enough for my bullshit meter to be like, okay, I don't know how, but somehow I can wrap my mind around it. Whatever it is for you, you need to speak them out loud in a way that you can actually believe in the goal. If it seems too far-fetched, if you can't, you need to rephrase it, reword it. That's gonna be up to you as an individual. I like to speak it like I expect it to happen, So read and visualize. Once again, that way you see it, hear it, feel it multiple times a day. I'll also tell you that my system is simple. You need to make sure that your system is simple. Like, for example, I will read my goals out loud. I do one of 2 things every single day. I either go to the gym or I go surf every single day. So before I get out of my truck to go to the gym, or before I get out of my truck to go paddle out to surf, I will read my goals out loud in my truck before I get out of my truck. My system is simple. You need to make sure that your system is simple. When are you going to read them out loud? And make sure that you are consistent with that every single day. Step 2 is you need to find someone to become accountable to. Some people believe that they don't want accountability. Yeah, you do. You need to, and you don't need to find somebody that's just gonna, pander to you or let you off easy if you don't hit your goal. You need to become accountable and find someone to become accountable to who's actually gonna hold you to your goal. Who knows, they're gonna give you massive shit if you don't hit your goal. That's what you need in your life. Some people think that they don't want accountability, but you do want accountability. By the way, getting specific is a form of accountability. Some people don't want to get specific because then they know for sure if they did or did not hit the goal. So some people will say, I want to lose weight, because then at the end of the year or the end of the quarter, they can be like, well, I did lose some weight. What you're doing is you're robbing yourself from true potential, but you're also robbing yourself of the journey and the joy that comes from actually knowing for certainty that you hit the goal that you set out to hit. See, when you get to the end of the year, if your goal was to lose weight, well, you can't decide at the end of the year if you're happy or not. When you get very specific on the goal that you're gonna hit and you hit it, well, man, there's a sense of joy that comes with that. A sense of, once again, satisfaction that comes with that. So get very specific. Getting specific is also a layer of accountability with what you're looking to achieve. Step 3, within phase 3 is you need to have a deadline. Every goal that you have needs to have a deadline attached to it. Once again, the RAS, reticular activating system, will feed you things that it deems urgent. Well, a deadline helps with that process. You need to have a deadline or else you will procrastinate. And once again, you can achieve more in 12 weeks, in a week, in a month than you probably think that you can, as long as you have specificity on what you're looking to achieve. So every one of your goals need to have a deadline behind it. Step number 4 is to actually be confident. Here's what I bet. I bet that last year you set goals that a number of goals, and I bet some of those goals you hit, and I bet some of those goals you didn't hit. But what I bet is the goals that you hit, you expected to hit them. And I bet that the goals you didn't hit, you didn't expect to hit. You were hoping that you would hit them. You need to be confident, man. You need to expect the goal to happen. Confidence means with faith. Faith is very different than hope. Hoping is that you just hope that somehow, some way it'll eventually happen. Faith, actually confidence means with faith, by the way. Confidence means with faith, which means it's an action. You're not hoping that it's gonna happen, you're taking the action knowing that you're going to achieve it. That's faith. I don't need to know every single thing about electricity to have the faith to go flip on the switch and turn on the light, to go make it happen. Every one of you can take the steps necessary, once again, in phase 2 to go make it happen, but you need to be confident that as you walk over to the light switch to flip it up, the man, light's gonna come on. You need to be confident in the goals that you're setting. Expect them to happen. Be shocked if they don't happen. Yeah, of course you should be confident because you're the one in charge of making it happen, my friend. So make sure that you're confident in your ability to go and do that. Number 5 is to set reminders. Now this is a game changer. Once again, I told you that highly successful people or semi-average people set yearly goals. The highly successful people check in on them quarterly. The 1%ers check in on them monthly. The 1% of the 1% check in on them daily and then multiple times a day. This is done through reminders. Now I do reminders a couple different ways. I'll set an alarm in my phone. An alarm in my phone to go off at a certain time that will be like, hey, you have X number of days left. How far away are you on your goals? Hey, reminder, alarm. Hey, reminder throughout the day. Hey, reminder, check in on your goals. I'll also use the journal. See, I predate my journal all the way out. So this is a 12-week journal. So what I'll do is I'll pick a date, 3 weeks in the future, a month in the future, multiple times, and I'll set a note right at the very top that will say, hey, you're X number of days away. Hey, you're X number of days away. How far are you? I'll set on my calendar time blocks ahead of time. Time blocks. Hey, check in on your goals. Hey, review your goals. Hey, review your progress on your goals. I want to check in on them, not just quarterly, not just yearly, like most people, not just quarterly, but man, I want to check on those every single day. It's also what the journal does. The journal literally has you write your goals down every single day. Why? Well, man, because once again, the RAS goes to work, feeding you tools, people, resources, things that will help you get what you're looking to get, as long as they become familiar, the RAS is familiar with what you want to get, what you're trying to achieve, and you want to keep that goal on your mind all the time. Step 6 and the last of phase 3 is to work on you, man. It's to work on you. It's very rare that we ever achieve anything that we don't feel worthy of achieving. Very rare. So you need to work on you. Who is the person that you need to become to be worthy of the things that you're looking to achieve? Because once again, it's very rare, if ever, that we achieve more than we feel worthy of. So you need to work on you, man. How do you get your mind set in the direction of your goals? How do you do things that separate you from others? How do you do things that make you feel like you deserve what you're about to go achieve? Things that you used to view as hard, things that other people view as hard. Successful people definitely take action, but successful people also recognize the actions that they're taking. So this is something that throughout the entire process, you need to be documenting the actions that you're taking and patting yourself on the back for taking. Hey, I woke up here, I did this here, I celebrate this here. You gotta celebrate your goals. You gotta celebrate the little things that are gonna help you get to the big things. So I promise you this, if you do not celebrate the little things, and you as an individual do not work on those little things, you will never achieve the big things. And even if you do achieve those big things, you will not hold on to and keep those big things, because once again, you don't believe that you're worthy of those big things. So work on you. What does that person look like? That person who has all that you're about to achieve, what do they look like? Define it, and then act like that person right now. Y'all, that is the framework to set and achieve massive goals. Once again, you can achieve so much more than you think you can achieve. You can do so much more than you think you can do. How do you do it though? You simplify the process. You get very specific on the goals that you're looking to achieve. You check in on them regularly, and then you work on you. All right, my friend, I hope that helped you get clear on the goal setting process. If it did, I'd ask you to do a couple things. Usually I'll ask you to share it, and that's cool too. You can do that. But here's the thing. Here's what the majority of people will do with the information that they just received. Absolutely nothing. They'll do absolutely nothing with it. They'll hear it one ear, out the other, and do absolutely nothing and be in the same position, if not worse, 12 months from now. You cannot be that person. Now, what some people will do is they will hear it, they've taken notes on it, and what they'll do is they'll execute on some of the things. They'll execute on some of the things, and they'll execute to a level that they feel comfortable. They won't do all of it. They'll just do the things that they feel comfortable doing. The things that they think are the best things to do. That's what they'll do. And those people will be a little bit more successful. But once again, the system is the system for a reason. See, when I learned this system, I didn't try to weave in my own system because I didn't have a system that was working and I needed to achieve bigger things. And so what I did is I actually executed. I believe that this is the difference maker for me, and it will be the difference maker for you, to actually execute on the things that successful people are telling you to execute on. This is what you should execute on. I'm telling you it'll make a difference. So you need to take the things that we've talked about and execute. Now, you're not going to be perfect, but when you're not perfect, when you fall off track, you're going to come back to the notes that you've taken, revamp, restructure, and once again, execute. Don't beat yourself up, but don't let yourself off the hook either. Now, my friends, if you also found some value, once again, man, share it. Share this video. I love doing these videos. I love being able to, man, make an impact on you any way that I can. And the only way that this channel continues to grow is if you share, when you find something valuable. So if this is valuable, share it. Hit the button, get reminders, subscribe, all those things that you know you need to do. Leave us a review, leave us a comment, like, all those kind of things. And then, my friends, as always, live always with aloha and go crush those mother effing goals. Peace.